You can see that I'm sweating. It is extraordinarily hot today, the last couple of days. And I have the fan off because I'm recording right now, and you can still probably hear the traffic. Note to self, keep speaking faster and louder. But anyway, this next story is a Florida man found dead with 100 dog bites after he took a shortcut to get home. So here's your dog bites man story for today. And I think it's horrific. It's this 45-year-old black man. He is in Lake Placid, Florida, which I guess is outside of Orlando. I've never been there. In fact, I've never been to Florida. I've been to about half of the 50 states, but not Florida. But anyway, he cut through the woods on a shortcut to get home, and a pack of dogs found him and just bit him. And they were able to match some of the bites with some of the dogs that were captured. I had no idea that there were wild dogs in Florida. That's not something you typically see in Wisconsin, but I remember as a kid, I was absolutely terrified of dogs when I lived in Wisconsin. And often for the same reason, I would try to take a shortcut, or I'd cut through someone's yard or something, and their dog would find me and chase me and all that. And I've been through that scenario many times. And I was absolutely just petrified of them. I remember my neighbors next door, when I was very little, had a German Shepherd, and I would look at that, and it would just glare at me all day. Like, we would have staring contests, and I would just, I didn't understand it at the time, but I've always had this tick, I guess, where I enjoy just sort of looking right in the eyes of something dangerous like that. Or it's that weird feeling whenever you're at the top of the building and you just think of leaping over, But this is absolutely horrific. Something needs to be done about the animals and animal control in Florida. They didn't say anything about the breed, which I find interesting. There is a breed of dog that many people keep, pit bulls. These muscular, specifically bred to be war dogs that people keep as pets. And you see people saying, "Oh no, they're lovely. Look, here's one playing with my baby. It would never hurt me or anything." But there have been so many horrific stories about pit bulls that I don't understand why anyone would even risk it, It's like keeping a gun under your bed. I don't care. I mean, I think it's great that I have the right to do that in America anyway. But that's not something I would want. I would just feel bad being so close to something that fatal, something that deadly. Out here in Vietnam, they eat dogs. There are 7 different varieties, and they're trying to cut that out. It's especially popular in the northern part where I'm living. That's also popular in Korea. Now, I've never tried the dog recipes here, but I've eaten dogs in Korea. And in China, they do it, but it's only in Korean and Vietnamese restaurants. So, random facts. I don't know. I'm trying to find some light in this anyway. I always was terrified as a kid that one day one of these dogs that I would see when I was crossing somebody's yard or something would break through and finally get me. And I almost got attacked once by a pit bull, and my bus driver just, thank God, fortunately she was there, and she slammed on the gas and pushed the bus forward and blocked the path of the pit bull. And I walked on, and I'll never forget the look that she gave me and everyone else gave me, and I was like, I just barely walked away from death. I've only been bitten by a dog once, and that happened 2 years ago in Nha Trang, which is a beautiful coastal city in the south of Vietnam, not far from Ho Chi Minh City. And I was just walking from someone's house. You know how it is. I was traveling, it was dark, and I just wanted a cheap late-night hotel that wasn't one of those glamorous places by the beach, right? And so somebody's dog ran out and bit me on the leg, and I had this big bruise and everything. But I was fine. But it's almost like after it happened, it sort of took away the fear of that ever happening. I had spent, all my life afraid of what it would be like if a dog bit me. Then when it finally happened, it wasn't so bad. And much before this, I remember I was out having fun one night. I think it was out here in Hanoi, and I'm with my friends. We've got our music, we've got drinks, we've got everything. It's just there's girls. It's just the perfect atmosphere. So much fun. I walked home, and I had sort of a skip in my step. I just felt really great, and I walked home, and I saw this stray dog wandering up to me, growling. And I just gave it that, what is that? Napier? Charles Napier? I'm trying to think of the reference. The guy who stared a tiger down. But I gave that same look to the dog. I was just like, are we going, are you going to try to terrify me? And he actually scampered away. And so, in my life, that's, in Vietnam is the first place where I've been bit by a dog. It's also the first place where I've chased a dog away just by staring it down. As for this poor Florida man, I can't imagine dealing with a pack of these animals. And depending on what breed they were, it's interesting the article doesn't mention that. But that could have a lot to say about their behavior, or I don't know. I don't know much about dog brains or anything. I know they're very loyal, and some people prefer them to cats, but I've always been more of a cat person myself. Over and out.